Welcome to My 5. And for this, My 5, I'm going through my 5 commentaries that I use the most. There is so much information out there, and it's hard to know what is good and what is bad. As you can see, there's a lot of books behind me. Everyone has an opinion on something. So how do you make sure that you have a good, well-rounded view and of what the scriptures are saying? So these are some of the tools I like to use. And I have other ones, but these are my top 5 that I use in no particular order. One I like, my grandfather gave this to me, Wolvard and Zuck. There's an Old Testament and New Testament one. And I just find these reliable, just down-to-earth, bare bones kind of goes into some detail, but not so much that you get just like blown up. All right, and this is a great one. This is a great one. I love this one. It's reliable and sound, and I feel they give each passage an honest look, and even tell you about some of the important words and some of the history, which is always good. Now, another book I like to use, another series I like to use, The Bible Made Easy. So, a smart guide to the Bible series. And I don't have the whole set, but I have some of these. And the reason I like these is because, so it takes you through the verses. Whoa, let's try and get in here. Takes you through the verses. See the verse here. And then there'll be a little write-up. There's always something in the corner here on the side panes that tell you things. And so they go through the verse. They tell you some different ideas and opinions and what they think it means. But one thing that is neat is they also put little blocks in here of what other people are saying as well. And so you get the editors of the book, or the editors of the book, their opinions, as well as you get a couple other people, what they think. And it does an okay job. It's both of these two that I mentioned are really good, quick resources to go to. Now here's what's important. That you get a well-rounded view of things. And what I find sometimes is people go to the sources where they always agree with everything. And so it's important to get some diversity in your opinion. So if you are a particular denomination and all your resources are from that line of thinking, then you need to expand that. If they're from the same culture, if they're from the same time period. And I'll talk a little bit about that later, but it's important to have a diversity of things. This is how you can know that you're getting a well-rounded view of what a scripture could mean, not just your opinion, which is why you're looking in the first place, because you don't want to rely on your opinion. So saying that, one I use often is the Jewish New Testament Commentary. And this is great for getting a bit of a Jewish perspective on the scriptures. Jesus was Jewish. His first followers were Jewish. A lot of the first church was Jewish. And so to get a modern Jewish perspective, as well as some of the history, this is by David Stern, not the former president of the NBA or commissioner of the NBA. And this is a great book. And there's also a, Old Testament translation, Old and New Testament translation, and he, uses some Jewish language and some Jewish interpretation of the scriptures. So this is really great for getting a different perspective. It's very easy to have one view and not see the whole picture, but there's a Jewish side of things that's very important. Another one I've used, and this is a book in the scripture, this is specific to that, is the Gospel of John by Craig Keener, and this is a 2-volume set. The other one's behind me there. Let's see. Right there. By my thumb. Okay. This one is great for, just going pretty deep into what the text is saying. And this isn't for the lightweights. This is if you really want to understand what's going on. Great introduction, and reading through this, it is great. It's great. That's all I can say. And it just really does a good deep dive into the scriptures, as well as, make sure you're using the footnotes in these books, right? Look at the footnotes. If you want to go deeper on something, what are the sources that they are using? And I always look for good footnotes, and Keener has some great footnotes. I think he might be a Keener. Okay. Now, for my last pick, I picked 2. And this is for a specific reason. So one is John Calvin. It's not because I'm a Reformed guy, because I'm not. But this is an important perspective to have. He shaped much of Christian thought, as well as he is from a totally different time period than myself. And I picked this one as well. I'm not even going to try and say the name, but this is Old Testament commentary. And this is German. This is heavy. This is deep. Calvin goes pretty deep. But it's the importance of getting well-rounded. So, what do these say as a German, as a, 1400s? Well, how did they look at the scriptures? It's so easy to get wrapped up in what we think and what we feel and how we see the world. It's important to get outside that. And that's why commentaries are so important when you're working through a passage. It's not just about what you think. You are not God. You are not infallible. Our interpretation is not infallible. So we must look to resources such as I'm not going to even try. Calvin and Jewish commentaries, and Keener and Walvard and Zuck. These people, all from different traditions, and how do they explain to us the truth of who God is? And so those are my 5 commentaries, with a little bit on why I picked those 5. Before you sign off, here's what I want to know. What are some of your favorite resources? Your favorite commentaries, your favorite books about specific books of the scriptures? Put it down in the comments. Love to hear them, and be great to share those online. Thanks.